Hey guys, I'm doing a flock update just to let you know what's what. Um, got all the girls out here and Rudy too. Um, I'm giving them some Biden's Alba. That's this little plant right here. Let's see if I can find you a flower. There you go. There's a flower from it, so you can kind of see what it looks like. It's a weed, but it's edible. So, I mean, people can eat it, birds can eat it, chickens love it. Honestly, they like it better than their regular feed. Because in truth, this hasn't been sprayed with glyphosate or Roundup or any of that jazz. It's just pulled right out of my yard, okay, in a spot I can't really get to too good with the mower. But anyway, I've got the babies in a little kind of brooder shelter. We have a tarp overhead so they don't get rained on. Well, half of them doesn't get rained on, but let me show you who all I've got in there. Okay, these four are the newest members. They are two Rhode Island Reds and two Wyandottes. One is a Colombian and the other one's, oh, I can't remember, a golden something. Anyway, gold laced maybe, I can't remember. I need to write this stuff down. Then I've got two silver laced over there and another gold lace that I had gotten from, oh, either Tractor Supply or, yeah, I think I got those from Tractor Supply. Those ones I got from, you know what? No, I think I got them all from Nashville from the Feed and Seed. And if you look closely, you'll notice I have two guinea keats in there. There's this one here with the black and white markings, and it was pied when I bought it. It had white wings, but we'll see if that develops or not. So far, not so much. Then that other one there is silver. Beautiful, almost lavender looking bird. And I was hoping to go back and get some more to add to my flock. But alas, when I went back, they were completely out because the guinea keats go really fast. They're good at keeping snakes and ticks out of the yard because they eat them, especially the babies. Baby snakes and ticks, they love them. Any kind of bug, really. But they especially like ticks. And all of them like soldier flies. So I have a soldier fly tote that I'm putting to work for them. I've got 3 different sources of water for them. I've got the typical mason jar water there. And then this one over here. And then I put some greens in here for them. The Biden's Alba again. I also put a little bit of hay in there. I'll add some more hay when they get done eating this afternoon. When they're all done eating all the greenery, I'll throw some more hay down in there. It's like an everyday thing. I've also adapted this. It was a animal crackers tub, and I drilled holes in 3 different spots on it and set it up on a cinder block, and then I wrapped the tape, I forget what that tape's called, around the threads of the little red nipple, water nipple, and then put it on there, and then I put the gasket on the inside, and then put the black nut on the inside, and I got those off of Amazon. If you want to look them up and see how they're done, I can show you what it looks like on the inside. Sorry guys, not meaning to disturb you. And you can see the nuts on the inside, and there's a little white washer right in front of the nut. Okay, it's pretty simple. It did not come with instructions, so I had my husband go over it with me because he's done that kind of thing before. And I've only done it once before, and it's been like 10 years ago, because honestly, these kind of waterers will last you about 10 years. This here's Goldie, and I gave her some nummies right here on top, right, Goldie? She likes to hang out apart from the other birds because she's just such a gentle spirit, and she's my favorite, and the others know it, so they pick on her for being teacher's pet, so to speak. They're all teacher's pet. They just don't realize it, but they like to pick on her, so she stays high. She stays up here, or she gets on the roost bar, and the other ones are kind of flaky, and Like 3 others will get on the roost bar, but the rest of them just roost wherever they can cop a squat. I don't know. Something wrong with them. Anyway, nobody ever accused a chicken of being the smartest bird in the world. I did the same thing with this bucket here, just a traditional Lowe's bucket. I drilled 3 holes in the outside. And the way these things work, they put a drop of water right here. We had a big rain yesterday, and when they peck at it right here, it lets another drop of water go. So I'll periodically come around, press the silver button so they get the feel for it. But until they've learned how to do it, I've also pressed their beaks up against it, several of them. Goldie was my first, and she's like, "What are you doing with my head?" But I pressed her beak into it so she could see that that's where water comes from. And then I turned her loose, and a couple of the others, so they could see that that's where the water comes from. And then I top it off and I cover it with a lid, because if you don't, there'll be chickens and crap all up in it, because that's what chickens do. You can see the nuts on the inside holding everything together. Now, I will say this, the most complicated part of the procedure was taking a little rat tail file, a round one, and cleaning up from around where the drill bit had left a bunch of plastic trash. So I had to do that to get them to be leak proof. Otherwise, they weren't going to be leak proof. So I might have like 2 more of those little nipples left I could demonstrate for y'all. If you want to see how that's done, please list it in the comments. You know, chickens are terrible about kicking up dirt and straw and everything else, pooping in their water and all that jazz. Over here, I've got a wash basin, just a dish pan. I filled it with some whole cracked corn and some sour milk. And I'm going to let the sour milk, it's already starting to curdle, and they like to eat the curds from the sour milk. So I'm soaking it in the whey, and I'm going to let that kind of ferment a little bit overnight. It might even sprout if they let it, but I doubt they'll let it. But that was the point of that. This is my soldier fly larva, and you can see I've got soldier flies in there out the wazoo. I just put all my kitchen scraps in here, especially if it's getting furry and I don't want to feed it to my birds. I'll throw it in here. Peanuts that have gone over, a friend of mine had some at church and was going to throw them out, and I was like, no, let me take those home. And I put a board in here at an angle so they can crawl out, and then they'll fall down into that bucket so the chickens can eat them. I've got all this set up on a pallet to try and deter the fire ants, but you know how it is trying to get rid of fire ants. And I've moved it around 3 or 4 different times. And anytime the birds like poop on something like the pallet or something like that, I've got a scraper. I scrape up the excrement and dump it in there. And the soldier flies just love that stuff. Okay. The grosser it is, the better they like it. I also have a bigger dish pan here for water. It catches rainwater, and I also fill it up periodically with a bucket. But they have the 5-gallon bucket too. They're just figuring out how to use it. Over here, I've got some little raised beds covered in wire. Right there, I've got a sweet potato that I planted out here that had started to sprout. The leaves are perfectly edible. You can see where the birds have pecked at the leaves and stuff like that. And there's the sweet potato. They've scratched around it a bit, but they weren't able to dig it out because I put the wire on top. Okay, and there's some of my inch plants. They're very tasty, but they will ravage them in just a few hours. So I set them outside the cage to let them regrow some. And I'm using these plastic bags. That was my sister-in-law's great idea, to cover up these milk crate nest boxes to keep them from pooping in there and to keep rain and stuff like that off of them. But you kind of got to get it in there just right so that the wind won't blow it off. This morning I've got 3 eggs already. I'll probably have some more by this afternoon. And I'll bring back a basket to collect them. I forgot it this morning. There's one of my inch plants right there. And what I'll do is I'll hang it up high and let it get a bunch of leaves on it. And when it starts to droop down toward the ground, the chickens will keep it cleaned up. And I've got 2 more of them over there. They love fresh greens, y'all. If you can get them fresh greens and bugs and grubs and things like that, they are just as happy as they can be. Now I normally do the deep litter method. I hadn't got real deep litter in here yet because it's just so hot. They like to scratch down into the earth and while they're at a hole, and then they'll lay down in it and get cool, okay? So I'm letting them do that for right now, but as it starts to get colder in the fall, I'm going to dump more hay in here where they can be warmer and more insulated, okay? You feel me? And also I'll get a bigger tarp on top. Right now this tarp is just covering like, I don't know, half of the coop, maybe, to keep the rain off of them, and it lets a lot of rain in. But I will go back and put a bigger tarp on top. For right now, this is good because it doesn't block out too much light, and it doesn't keep the heat in too bad from the girls. And the front side here, you can see I've got that all ventilated for them so that they can do their thing. Now I'm going to lock this so that no critters come along and try to... now I have no place to put my eggs. Hold on. I need another hand. And I will struggle to put these eggs in my pocket, which may or may not be a great idea. It has been a bad idea in the past. Now my cage is locked. There are some greens, though, that you can't give birds, so don't just chop down greens willy-nilly to give to them. Typically, the rule of thumb is if you can eat it, so can they, okay? So whenever I have Biden's Alba or anything like that, I use that and give it to them. Nightshades they don't eat, but sweet potatoes are fine. And my kitty cat, that's Leo. Oh, and there is my girl, Princess Mittens. Okay, those two boxes that she's on, they're going to be temporary raised beds for me. At least that's my idea. I may go back and I like the idea, and I think I may go back and do it out of real wood using this as a template. It's just a pallet box. I think I paid like $5 for them. And I know they won't last more than a season, but that's okay because there goes the cat. Because I just want them to get my bed started and to hold my hugelkultur in place while I'm getting it started. So this fall, that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to use these watermelon totes. They're called Gaylords. I'm going to use them, and I'm going to spread them out right here. And I'm going to put them side by side and do an arch over top and fill them full of limbs and branches and all that kind of good stuff. And then I'm going to do over top of it a cattle grate, cattle fence panel. And that way I have some trellising. And I'm going to put, oh shoot, what is the name of that plant? It's right over here. It's one I learned about from David the Good. And I don't think I have the name of it on here. It's a type of air potato that's edible. It ends in alba. I can't remember the first part. Something or another alba. But I've got it written down. Dioscora alba, maybe? That might be right. But I'll have to check with my notes. But anyways, I purchased it on Amazon. You got to be careful about which one you get because some of them are edible and some are not. Some people swear that pokeweed is edible, the berries for the birds, and some say it's not, so I haven't fed it to them yet. But I've got plenty of this Biden's Alba. It drops about 10,000 seeds, 11,000 seeds, 12,000 seeds per plant. There's some growing in what should be my my flower bed for my gooseberries and my plum trees. And my plum trees are still back there, but in the late summer, these Biden's Alba try to take over. It also has another name. It's a nettle, some kind of nettle. Anyway, that's what it looks like. The bees and the butterflies love it, but I try to catch it before it has a chance to go to seed up here in my flower bed. Anywhere else, I don't really care. But anyways, so me and the Biden's Alba are in a fight. It's called Biden because it has two little hairs on it that stick to your clothes. And when you go to ripping it out, you're covered in it. You have to sit there and pick them off one by one. It's ridiculous. I just fertilized my lemon balm. I'm going to try and harvest that again before the cold sets in the fall. Anyways, you guys have a blessed day. You know how long-winded I can get. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.